Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be when you reach the breaking point. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So what is the breaking point? That is the point of no return. It's when you've seen enough. It's when the narcissist has crossed one too many barriers or one too many boundaries. It's when the narcissist mask has slipped and you actually have fully processed who they are. You've come to practice radical acceptance, and you'll finally understand that you've seen one too many things here. And when you've reached the breaking point, that is, as I mentioned previously, it's a point of no return. It's a point where you have now understood that this person is not changing. The narcissist is actually getting worse, and their poor behavior, more and more of it is bubbling up to the surface. You are seeing more of their poor behavior. You are now coming to grips and to terms that yes, the narcissist did manipulate you. They tricked you and trapped you, and they placed you in that trauma bond. They placed you in the narcissistic fog, the zombie-like, trance-like state where they wanted to keep you existing. Notice I said existing. When you're in the relationship with the narcissist, specifically post-love bomb / euphoric stage, you're existing. What you're doing is you're putting your life on hold. You are building up this other person who turned out to be the narcissist. You are listening to their words. You are excusing their poor behavior. You are tolerating abuses such as financial, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. You are looking the other way because you were placed in an area that you didn't even know existed, which was the devaluation stage. And again, I must mention this for the video. If you were taught Narcissism 101 when you were in school, you could have seen the signs, you could have identified the poor behavior, and perhaps you could have shifted your decision whether you wanted to stay in that relationship or not. But you weren't taught this in school. You had to go through it. You had to process that relationship and really understand that the relationship wasn't what you wanted it to be or what you thought it was. It was exactly what it was, which was a challenging, debilitating, narcissistic relationship that you had to heal from. This is the path. This is what we all must go through on the healing journey. We have to process things. We have to meditate, slow our lives down, journal, see a therapist, watch videos, read. We have to do everything we can because all of our energy was going out the window into the narcissist when we were in that relationship. And when we reach the breaking point, that is again a very pivotal part on the journey. Example, let's say that the relationship that you were in, it ended a couple of years ago, and even right now, you are still processing some things. You've healed or you're well on the healing path, but maybe you haven't fully quite processed everything. Well, if that's the case, that just simply tells me that there's more work to be done. There's more journaling to be done. There's more deep diving to be doing into your childhood, etc. But why I said that is there will be moments in time that you will be triggered, or there will be moments in time when you will realize certain things. I call them light bulb moments. But maybe you'll hear a song, or maybe somebody will say a sentence to you, or maybe you'll see a dish of food or watch a video or something, and something will click inside your mind and you'll be like, oh my gosh, that was it. That was it. I get it now. I understand the missing piece to the puzzle, and I've now reached the breaking point. When you reach the breaking point, that is when you should, if you haven't already done this, which is gone no contact, block the narcissist, delete them, remove them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If you haven't done that, I strongly suggest you consider doing it. Each and every one of our circumstances are unique but yet similar because we have all gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle. Some people, this is the first video they're ever consuming. Others, it may be the 10,000th video they've consumed. The point being is you're here on the channel and in the community to get the wisdom, to apply the lifelong learning lessons and the tools that are provided for you in the community and on the channel. You're applying them to your present day life. You are not staying stuck in the past. You are not still giving the narcissist chances. You're not still believing in the mask. You are now understanding that that person was a coward, a bully, a liar. They instilled or administered the smear campaign, which was meant to drive a wedge between you and any relationship or hobby or job or anything that mattered to you. They also triangulated you. They gaslit you. They gave you the silent treatment for days, weeks, maybe even months on end. They used the smear campaign, as I mentioned. They projected all their toxicity onto you. They blame shifted you. These are just some of the definitions in the glossary on the narcissistic abusive cycle that either you have learned about or you are learning about. And this is part of the healing path. But when you reach the breaking point, this is when you say, no, I am no longer tolerating this behavior. this one's crossed the line, even for this narcissist. This is way below even their level that I thought that they could stoop so low to. But this happens with each and every one of us. You see, many times we will know what to do. Many times we will know that the narcissist is a toxic person, but we can't quite wrap our head around it because our heart perhaps could be telling us one thing and our mind is telling us something different. That's a little dose of cognitive dissonance for you, but the point being there is when you fully process what the relationship was and you understand that the narcissist is only deteriorating over time, they're not improving. Their behavior is getting worse and worse, and they're trying to consume perhaps maybe your energy, but certainly the new supply's energy and anyone's energy that will listen to them. When you understand that and you realize that your life is so much better, drama-free, manipulation-free, toxic-free, and narcissist-free, that's when you really begin to elevate and you begin to ascend and you begin to really understand that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third, and there is no longer any room or time or energy for a narcissistic person, no matter who it is. Maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your dad, maybe it's your sibling, maybe it's your coworker, colleague, friend of 20 years, maybe it's your spouse. Who knows who it is, but if you've identified that who they are, then staying in that relationship 1 minute longer than you need to is 1 minute too long. Because these relationships are built on smoke and mirrors. They're built on a house of cards. They're built on quicksand. There is nothing to them. You gave everything to a fault. You most likely were a people pleaser, an empath, a kind, loving person, and you probably didn't have boundaries. Well, the narcissist saw that and they sized you up and they feasted on you and your energy for a long period of time until something broke, until something gave, until you finally hit the breaking point and you realized, wait, I can't go back there. I can't give them another chance. I've given them so many chances already. I now understand because something clicked in my mind. That final light bulb moment went off. With the initial huge awakening, it finally hit me like a ton of bricks. And I said to myself, wow, I really cannot be in this relationship. It's really consuming me. I can't work properly. My other relationships, no one wants to communicate with me. I'm isolated. I became a shell of myself. All of my resources took a hit. The reason why that is because that's what the narcissistic abusive cycle does to people. It, by design, is meant to debilitate you. It is meant to keep you stuck and trapped. It is meant to not have you advance. It is meant to not have you break the trauma bond. It is meant to not have you heal. It is meant for you to not reach the breaking point, but that's what you've done, or that's what you're doing. You see, you can't unsee what you have seen. And if you have reached the breaking point, which means you now understand that the narcissist never had your best interest at heart from the minute you met them until right now, and they certainly won't have your best interest at heart in the future. When you wrap your head around that, then you realize getting away from these people is the path. Relocating if you can, going no contact certainly, and understanding that where you are today in life is not where you will be in 3 months, in 6 months, in 9 months, and in 12 months. Because when the breaking point has been reached, you can't go back. If you were to go back, meaning unblock the narcissist or even entertain communication with them, this is what would happen to you. You would go backwards and you would not enjoy that ride because you would be opening the door again to the narcissist and they would kick it wide open and they would take full advantage of you. So when you reach the breaking point, that is the point of no return. It's now a line has been drawn in the sand. You've gotten the message. You've had the message throughout your life, but now you're really applying the message and you're understanding that no contact is the path and that these people wanted to take you down for the count and they tried their best, but they failed and they failed miserably like they do so frequently. Because the narcissist is looking for an opportunity. The narcissist believes they are entitled. The narcissist believes they're better than people. The narcissist believes they should have what other people have worked very hard for. The narcissist wants to take, take, and take. And when they're done, what do they want to do? That's right, they want to take more. The narcissist wants to stay stuck in your mind until you finally unwrap and unpackage what that relationship was and that it didn't serve you. And the breaking point will be when something pivotal has happened. Maybe you saw something that you weren't prepared to see. Maybe the narcissist sent you an email and you can't believe what they're trying to dump on you. And maybe a flying monkey told you something about the narcissist, what they said about you, etc. When you're understanding that all these things are all smoke and mirrors, it's all meant to have you give the narcissist or the flying monkeys or people a reaction. When you understand that, that's when you realize that slowing your life down, insulating yourself, protecting yourself, staying in the cocoon of boundaries and healing is the path. And you will go down so many different rabbit holes of education and exploration Post-narcissistic relationship, once you've identified who the narcissist was, or maybe there were multiple narcissists, you will actually look around your life and you will identify who your siblings are, who your parents were, who your coworkers were, or colleagues or neighbors, or people in communities and organizations or hobby groups you were a part of. You'll really begin to become awakened and aware, educated and empowered, and you will understand that you are the priority. You are the #1 person on the planet that so many people were trying to zap your energy. They were trying to take your energy from you. And again, you were giving your energy to a fault, specifically to the narcissist, because you didn't know narcissists existed. You thought a narcissist was just somebody who was looking at themselves in the mirror and fawning over themselves. Well, that's just one tiny little part of it at times. But remember, not every narcissist is an Adonis or a beautiful exterior person with a beautiful exterior. The narcissist at their core, their interior, is rotten. It's hollow. They're shallow. They're empty inside. There's nothing to them. That's why they need to manipulate people. That's why they need to wear a mask. And that's why when you believed in the mask, you believed in the false narrative of the narcissist, and you thought that they had your best interest at heart, and they assimilated themselves with you, and they glommed onto your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, and your goals, and everything you wanted to accomplish in life with them. And they spun all those things around. They made sure many of those things didn't happen. They tried to disrupt your energy and blow up any relationship they could that you were a part of. And all of these things were meant to do damage to you. Many times people say, hey, does the narcissist know what they're doing? Well, I've said this recently in videos. I'll say it one more time. They put their clothes on the exact same way you do. They breathe the same air. They have the same decisions every day. Are they going to stand for goodness or not goodness? Usually they stand for not goodness, and they usually hide or lurk in the shadows. That's what they do. That's their nature. They don't ever want to be exposed. They don't ever want to be discovered. They don't ever want to be revealed. They can't hear no, the strongest word in the English language, which is the most powerful word in the English language. And remember, when you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself. They don't like that word no, but no is a complete sentence. And when you block the narcissist, you're telling them a very clear, succinct message that, hey, I've reached the point of no return. I've reached the breaking point. I want nothing to do with you. I'm not going to explain myself or defend myself. I'm going to take the high road and move forward without you anywhere near my life or my energy. Because the narcissist, again, at their core, they want to zap your energy. They want to take whatever they can from you. And they can and do accomplish this so easily and so frequently until when? That's right, until they don't, until you get the message and you understand that you had to reach the breaking point. There was no other way. You could have watched all the videos in the world. You could have done all the journaling. You could have talked to all the therapists. But when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And maybe this is the video for you when you finally hit the breaking point and you realize, yeah, you've been giving this person so many more chances than they deserved. They actually deserved one chance. But the thing is, back then, when you gave them that chance, which was entering the relationship with you, you didn't realize they were a narcissist. Again, you weren't taught this in school, so you gave them more and more chances over and over and over again, and their behavior only deteriorated. I've mentioned that frequently so many times in this video to repeat the message. If you've reached the breaking point, this is when you really understand that you have to conserve your energy. You have to process things, and you have to slow your life down and insulate and protect yourself. You do not want to be oversharing information with anybody. You do not want to be calling anybody out. You do want to be healing. You want to be really understanding that when you were ready, you finally took action. And that's probably when you went no contact or relocated or did not communicate any longer with any flying monkeys or specifically the narcissist. But when that happened, you had to reach a breaking point, because post-narcissistic relationship, many times people, the non-narcissist in the relationship, many times people are holding on to a little glimmer of hope, a little possibility of what ifs. Can the narcissist change? Do they love me? Did they have my best interest at heart? Do they care about me? Am I doing the right thing? I feel guilty for blocking them. Maybe I should just give them one more chance. They're holding on to a little teeny breadcrumb of hope that something will shift and that the narcissist will wake up and come to their senses. Well, I want to let you know something. This will be a tough pill to swallow, but the narcissist will never, and I repeat, never come to their senses. They want to inflict as much damage upon anybody that they possibly can. And holding on to a little breadcrumb of hope, that's what the narcissist gave you when you were in the relationship. They gave you little breadcrumbs of nothingness, little breadcrumbs of possibilities that would never happen, future faking, if you will, promising you the sun, the moon, and the stars, and delivering nothing but their toxicity and their negativity and their enviousness and their jealousness, if that's a word. You get my point. What I'm sharing with you is when you did that and you understood that these people are as toxic as they actually are, and when you reach the breaking point, that's when you stop giving them chances. That's when you throw that little breadcrumb away and you realize that, yeah, they're not going to change, and they're actually onto a new supply or multiple sources of supply by now. And those people, the new supplies, are getting peppered with abuse just like I was. That's what the cycle does to people. It keeps them stuck in a loop of manipulation, in a loop of lies, in a loop of deceit, destruction, devastation, and in a loop that many people don't escape from. But that's not you. You've escaped from the loop, or you are escaping from the loop, and you're understanding just how important, needed, powerful, and courageous you are. You need to do something. You need to break the cycle. You need to remove yourself from the cycle. You need to let the narcissist slither away into the darkness to wherever they're going to go, as long as it is not near you. And unfortunately, the narcissistic abusive cycle will continue. My hope is it's eradicated. I wish it didn't even exist. I wish that people would get along and have the best interest of others at heart, but that's not the world we live in. Maybe one day it will be like that, but it's not today. So for now, we need to insulate ourselves, protect ourselves, have boundaries. We need to understand if we reach the breaking point, we can't go back. We can't give anybody another chance again to hurt us, to harm us, to steal our energy, and to steal our time, our money, our love, our empathy, all of our resources. Those days are over. We've now taken the lifelong lessons from the past. We're not predicting the future. We're living in the present moment, the here and the now. And we live in the present moment. The narcissist lives for the moment. Big difference. When you're living for the moment, it means you don't care about anybody. You just want to get your supply as quickly as you can. You get your hit of dopamine or adrenaline or whatever these people need to fuel them, but they don't care about what they have to do to get it. When you live in the present moment, you slow your life down. You really take stock of how far you've come, where you are, and where you're going. And where you're going will not include the narcissist. It will not include any narcissistic individual. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. God bless you all. I love you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Remember, we all reach the breaking point at some time in these narcissistic relationships, and there was a reason why. One, the narcissist was always trying to break the relationship. You just didn't know it. And two, every narcissistic relationship has an expiration date. We now know that also. So when you reach the breaking point, that means when you say to yourself, I've had enough. I'm not doing this any longer. I'm done. I'm out. I'm healing, or I've healed, and I'm reaching that pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, where I no longer care about the narcissist or any people from that period of time. That's the path. So remember, take action. If not now, when? I love you all. God bless you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.